up a little bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglosh for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. Okay, let's have a little fun. I found out about a new product today, and I'm always interested in that. So let's see if we've got this queued up right. I don't see it. Let's see what we're after. There it is. Okay. And it's a new soda. And contrary to Pepsi Zero or Coke Zero, it has sugar in it. And it also has other good stuff. So let's see if I can get that queued up here. There we go. I started in the middle because I didn't know what else to do. And here it is, Orange Squeeze. And it says, a natural classic, supports immune health, 9 grams of gut-friendly fiber, and 5 grams of sugar. It's called Olipop. I've never seen it on the store, but I thought it was interesting that they're advertising straightforward sugar. I thought that was good. I mean, I like sugar. Doesn't everybody love sugar? We just don't love it sneaked into things. And there's a lot of that, of course. Okay, let's get to the real news, if I can find it. Turn that off. Printing United announced, or maybe they're just promoting it. I think it's been announced for a while. Their global print event. Okay, and it's going to be October 8th and 9th down in Orlando. Or no, 6th through 8th. I'm sorry. Had it upside down. I'm a little dyslexic. And there's a lot of printing represented, apparel, digital textile, graphics, wide format, but also mailing and fulfillment. So I don't think I've been asked to be on the program yet. But if they need to fill in, that's how I got started with the with the DMA, and probably did about 100 speeches for those guys. So anyway, if you're on the committee for the print event, there's another one. I think this is the global printing, and there's another one called the print event, and they compete with each other. But anyway, just thought I'd let you know that someone's, at least setting up a conference. I was hoping for NMOA Fall in Chicago, but I haven't seen anything on that, so I think that one's been canceled. Anyway, going on. Here's an article from Joe Mancuso, and he says that friends and family are still the top brand influencers. That's not what this article says. It's a clickbait. What it was studying, as far as I can tell, and it was very confusing, was where do you tell somebody if you're happy or not happy, unhappy with an experience with a brand? And the answer is, if you're happy about it, you tell your friends and family. If you're unhappy, then friends and family, or you don't buy the product, or you complain to customer service. Those three are almost exactly the same. It's only a 1,500 person survey in the USA and UK. I think it has more to say about what kind of person you are. I've had some really, really bad experiences, and sometimes it's really helpful to go to social media and complain there, because somebody's paid to watch it oftentimes. And so I found that social media is one of the best places to complain. I've also threatened to post it on social media with a big, big manufacturer, and they kind of came through in spades and said, yes, that would be a bad thing. Pieces of their, on Mother's Day with about 30 people at our house, pieces of their appliance started flying off into the room. Razor sharp pieces. That's all I'll say. But they came through really well, and they didn't just give us a new part, but they actually gave us a whole new unit. So anyway, so this isn't about how friends and family influence me to buy. It's about who I want to tell about a good or a bad experience. And I think mostly it says that we talk more to friends and family than we do to social media, and we think maybe they listen. This is probably more about who will listen to us than who we listen to, and I think that was the mistake in here. Okay, Colorado has a new privacy bill, and maybe a tough it may be a tough row to hoe or a big mountain to climb, to use a Colorado metaphor. And it's they're joining with they're not joining with they're doing the same thing to us that California and Virginia is claiming to. And the world's getting real nutty about privacy, but a couple of the things, this isn't CCPA, this is just CPA. CPA will allow consumers to request deletion of personal information and correct inaccuracies concerning one's personal data. Now, I've been a critic of this for many years, since GDPR came out. What consumers don't understand is the way to prevent misuse of your data is probably not to delete it. If you delete it, then however you as a consumer created it in the first place, you create data by driving your car, by having that workout app on your phone that tracks how many steps you do a day, by checking the weather, by all sorts of little things. You generate data with that smartphone in your pocket. If you really don't want anybody to know what you're up to, get rid of your smartphone. That would be the first thing. Get rid of your computer. That would be the second thing. Don't order anything except at the local grocery with cash. That would be the rest of it. Okay? Otherwise, if you're going to use the modern conveniences, you're going to leave little breadcrumbs around about what kind of things you like. Even at the grocery store, if you use the pig card, then they know something about your preferences. Like, I like steak, and it's part of life. But if you want somebody to, is there a right to not be marketed to? I don't think so. This is a deep question. Freedom of speech includes business speech. And one of the cornerstones to capitalism is the right of a business to tell its story somehow, in print or in broadcast. And we're getting dangerously close to this idea that somehow you have a right not to be disturbed. That somehow advertising is such a terrible invasion of your privacy that you have a right to turn it all off. You do. I mean, you can turn off the TV. You can turn off the cell phone. You can not go out of your house. You still have a house. I don't know the answer. The old, my freedom of expression ends at the tip of your nose. But there's also a point in which if offensive speech isn't protected, then basically no speech is protected. And we're moving in the direction of, I believe in free speech as long as it doesn't bother me. As long as you don't say something that bothers me, and that bothers me. What you just said. The unless it bothers me, advocates bother me. So maybe they should be quiet. It's not an argument. It's just an illustration of how someone wins and someone loses. Richard, thanks. Yeah, well, there's some differences, and let's go over to the differences. It says you can't even collect information on religious beliefs, sexual orientation, race, ethnicity, citizenship status, and physical or mental health information. That's an interesting one, because I've been talking with Kim Axel over at Red Lobster. He's the CEO of Red Lobster, and I was explaining to him that the Orthodox Church recommends that their members be vegan for 180 days or so a year. So today is a vegan day, so I had oatmeal instead of bacon and eggs. And I said, but the Orthodox Church doesn't count shellfish as meat. So when you're going through Lent, you can't have fish the whole time. It's about 8 weeks of no fish. no meat, no nothing. But you can have shrimp. And I said to Red Lobster, you should promote, give a special. Get those Orthodox people coming every now and then. And the Red Lobsters, I did check, have a fairly urban presence. They're usually at the sort of out in the in the edge of town mall. Where there's a big mall, just not downtown, but edge of town, and they're usually like in the parking lot. Whoa, Richard, thank you for that. Richard just posted a big comment that's probably too complicated for me to read on here. Yeah, the definitions are terrible. And it seems like Colorado has at least called out the definitions. And but there, it says there's a lot of challenges here because what are the definitions? And consumers, unlike California, consumers can't file personal lawsuits, but the Colorado Attorney General's office can have a heyday enforcing these up to $500,000. Now here's the differences. This is an article, and I recommend you go to WDMA and subscribe. WDMA, which is up here, WDMA. There's a sign up there, and a few provisions. One is stringent limitations on secondary use of data. So let's say you say we're using your location data to give you information. Yeah, right, exactly. I'm agreeing with Richard as fast as I can. There's stringent limitations on the secondary uses of data. So you're collecting my geolocation in case I want to know if there's a storm coming, and you can alert me that there's a storm coming. I don't. I used to have that turned on, but they were really wrong about when a storm was coming, and I prefer to see the radar and look for myself and keep the window open. Okay, I ride a motorcycle, so that matters to me. They also want organizations to specify the purpose. But let's say you are collecting the geolocation to, in general, to alert me to storms, but you're also reselling it to fast food, to Burger Kings around the country, so that as I drive in my car, which isn't as worried about storms, and I come to a stoplight, you can send me an ad that says that Burger King right by you has a new chicken sandwich or something that you should try. That's a secondary use of data, and it's hard. It's a lot of times hard to specify secondary uses of data. For example, right now we're relaunching a whitetail.com site, and we're getting the website all set up, and we're going to be using people who've bought hunting licenses. Many states do sell that to marketers. It's sold to a big compiler that also shares data with many e-commerce and catalog merchants, and so we can come up with a list that's people who bought hunting licenses and also buy online. Pretty good list, a couple of million people. Now we're gonna send them something really great and really cool, and the question is that a secondary use of buying a hunting license? Sure it is. I wonder if Colorado will follow their own law. Be interesting, where the hunting license now has to have an opt-out. It's going to be complicated. Now, one of the benefits of mail is most of these don't really specify mail as a limited marketing option. They seem to be targeting email and retargeting as annoying, which they are. But like I said, the big question is, are we swinging the pendulum too far against free speech? And I think we have to be careful. And as Richard has pointed out a couple of times, the definitions are so wide open, it's not even clear you can comply. And when it wars against business speech and basically eliminates it, then it's unconstitutional. And states don't have the right to limit interstate commerce, and I think this is dangerously close to that, which, you know, which means we need some clarification on this. Do consumers have a right to privacy? Yeah, I guess so. Um, there's a there privacy isn't a right as far as I can tell. It's not in the Bible. God sees what you do. Santa knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. I don't see privacy as a right in the Bill of Rights. I don't see it in Western tradition. I think there's a polite, there are impolite, improper, unethical invasions of privacy. I think that's true, but I don't think that confers a right to privacy. I welcome your thoughts. Have a great day. Like and share. Your friends will know you're smart. Bye-bye. Oh, wait. Before I go, there's a summertime monthly meetup. June 24th, 2 p.m. Central Time, Central Daylight Time, Chicago time. If you're international, that's for Matthew Parker. We always try to get him, but he's up. That's too late for him to be online. Anyway, that's like 8 p.m. at night. So mark it down. There isn't a link yet on WDMA, but there will be for you to register. Last month we had incredible feedback or participation from Patrick from the USPS, and he explained informed visibility and how merchants can benefit from that. It was fantastic. And one of the printers on said that this made it worth joining the WDMA, and she's a paid member. Yay. She said this one meetup was worth an entire year membership. And so we have some great content. We have people who really know what they're talking about drop in, and you can ask them questions. It's better than any webinar you're going to get to, because we have some great people that regularly come, some real industry leaders. So mark it down, June 24th, 2 p.m. Central Time, and we'll have more information to follow. That's a couple of weeks from now, like 2 weeks from yesterday. Have a great